Yo, kinfolk and skin folk, what it do? Lifers, let the newbies know they in the right place. They ain't lost. This is the Life Be Lifing podcast. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Y'all already know who it is. Your favorite coach's favorite coach. Your favorite fat freckled man. You know what I'm saying? Fat Barnes, fat, Stephen Fatson. I want all the smoke. You know what I mean? We back for the sports edition of the Life Be Lifing podcast. Shout out to our hostess with the mostest, Mimi the goddess. But we got a special guest with us
Stuff.
tonight, man. From the GNT Sports Talk himself, Tone the promoter.
Yo. What's going on, people? Like you said, it's on the promoter here from GNT Sports Talk. Yo, I'm glad to be here, man. Thank you for inviting me on, bro.
Thrilled to have you, my brother. Thrilled to have you. So listen, um, as I said, we're gonna get into this thing, and let's get to know Tone the man before he gets into, the whole thing with the topic that we got set up. Hey, Tone, tell us a
Uh,
little bit about your podcast off rip, man. How long you been
our podcast
there?
off rip.
Give them the name. Let them know off the rip.
All right, so the podcast name is GNT Sports Talk Podcast, right? And that
Facts.
stands for Generating New Topics. Because that's
Ooh,
what we do.
that's smooth.
You know what I mean? Because that's what we do every Wednesday at 8 p.m. The name of the Instagram handle is what it is, GNT Sports Talk. Like I said, we go live every Wednesday. And pretty much we cover any sport there is, any hot topic, you know what I mean, to talk about. And I've been doing it for almost a year. August 2nd will be a year that
That's
we
dope.
launched our first episode. You know what I mean? So we coming up on that 1 year anniversary, man. But obviously I've been talking sports all my life. So, you know what I mean? Doing what I do as far as on my podcast, man, it's just something I do every day, you know what I mean, outside of it. So just decided to start recording myself, you know what I mean, with two other guys and like I said, 11 months later, we here.
That's what's up. That's dope. That's dope. Listen, let's get this. We gonna start sharing out the link while we have a little discussion in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Um, we got the
Oh
YouTube
yeah.
link going.
What's
Well,
up,
excuse me,
YouTube?
and we got the Facebook link going. Excuse me, yeah,
Facebook,
YouTube and
Facebook,
Facebook. We got both
Facebook.
those going.
All right.
One of these days, we gonna figure out how to get this thing to work for IG too. Shout out to our IG peoples.
All
One of
right.
these days, we
Solid.
gonna figure out. But in the meantime, between time, I'll make sure to put it in the post for our people in IG. You know what I'm saying? We got y'all.
That they can still tap in, right?
Facts, facts.
For
We're not
sure.
gonna leave y'all out in the cold for nothing. We not gonna leave y'all out in the cold for nada. So just to give y'all a little background, Tone is one of the people I know y'all been hearing me talk about the podcast link live show that's on August 4th. Tone is one of my fellow panelists for that event. You know what I'm saying? That has been
Yes,
curated by the
yes.
lovely Taya. Shout out to her. Y'all remember
Tired. Yes, yes.
we had her here for the Self Care is Bay episode. And I actually met her in person for the PodCon, the Philly PodCon that wallowed through. You know what I'm saying? Me, my man Hank, shout out to Hank, um, had
Yeah.
ran into
What's up, Hank?
her, and Keith, aka Mr. Know It All, on our way out after everything was closed out. So you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing how God works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now look at us, we all together trying to make this podcast link go. We done been on each other platforms, and you know what I'm saying?
Right,
As Tyus
right.
said on your episode 50 last night, I'm gonna make sure to put
Mm-hmm.
the link in. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to put the link in the description so that people could go over there and tap in. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
as she
man.
said last night, we dispelling that whole myth about Philly don't support Philly, how Philly hate on each other, and Philly can't get, can't get together and do stuff. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
not where
Hmm.
we at. That's not how we
No,
carrying
no,
it.
not the energy. Yeah, not the energy we bring in. No, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's not how we carrying it at all.
Mm.
I mean, that's not how we finna give it up. Um, so
Nah.
just Not even a little, not even a little bit. So, you know what I mean? We gonna make sure that y'all see this example and take it with y'all for other stuff. You know what I'm saying? We doing it for podcasting, but we want everybody to keep that energy for everything. Your black businesses, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Your black owned businesses, whether it's small, mid tier, large, whatever it is, y'all projects, y'all community service, whatever it is, so that you just
Mm-hmm.
start linking with the other person. Speaking of sports, you know what I'm saying? Even with sports, right? There's a bunch of different coaches for a bunch of different sports. Dog,
Mm-hmm.
5 coaches in the same hood, and no national champions, no national teams out of that. It don't make sense. Get
Right.
together and make,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Get together and make a team out of everybody on that side. Make 2 teams for real, for real.
Yeah. Who used to come together? The Voltrons, right?
You feel
Like,
me? Come together
you know
like
what I
Voltron.
mean? Like,
Do like the Power
right.
Rangers, dog. 10 coaches out
Right.
West Philly coaching against each other. 15 coaches out North Philly coaching against each other. North Philly should have a
Mm-hmm.
squad. West Philly should have a squad. Uptown, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
We should all have squads. And at the end of the day, I believe that we should all have that central focus to get our kids to the next step in life. So yeah, we
Oh
can,
yeah, for sure.
compete against each other and teach them to compete against each other, but like our focus should be on getting our kids to that next step. So, like I said, it's just that positive energy, that, Philly versus everybody energy. You feel me? Not Philly versus
Mm-hmm.
Philly, Philly
Yeah,
versus
man.
everybody,
Nah.
Philly versus the
Yeah, because
world.
we definitely listen, man. We a strong city, man. That has trends that everybody
You
follow,
feel
man.
me?
Everybody tap into Philly.
Come on
Everybody
now.
tap into Philly, man. We known everywhere, man. Not just because of the beard or whatever, because you know what I mean? Philly, where it's at, man. And like you said, man, all we got to do is just come together, man, support one another, man. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that myth that, you know what I mean? Somebody want to see you do good, but not better than them. You know what I mean?
Talk
And
about it.
it's like somebody always want to be in front of the guy. No, man, like if I couldn't get like you on my podcast or something, but I did want to get you on a podcast and I knew my man had one, I'm gonna
Right.
plug you with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like, no, because I can't get him on my show. I ain't going, you know what I mean, put him on somebody else's platform. Nah, man. Like, you know what I mean? Your followers gain my followers, vice versa, dog. We all connected, man. Like,
It's
you know
all
what I mean?
connected.
So,
It's
yeah,
all
so like you
connected.
said, man, that energy and the vibes got to be with everything. Obviously, not just focused on this, but with everything in life, man.
Yeah, man. Y'all gonna see. We all come from different walks of life. Some of us didn't know each other before this, collaboration.
No,
And then y'all gonna
no.
see us together after this, doing projects together, whether it's a
Oh,
podcast or,
oh
like
yeah.
I said, just regular stuff. You feel me?
This,
Um,
this this just the beginning, man.
it
It's just the beginning.
absolutely is. It absolutely is,
I
man.
mean,
Sometimes it takes, we classified in for the 40 and up crowd like myself, we classified into the Unk and OG category now.
oh yeah,
You
oh
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm 42. Yeah,
so we
yeah. We can put that
still
out there.
we
Yeah,
still got to lead the folks. You know what I'm saying? We still got to lead those that's coming behind us. Show them how to get it done.
right.
You should have those links by now
Exactly.
if you want to go ahead and send them out. Um,
Okay.
and
Okay.
in the meantime, between time, I'll start up the topic for us. So I was watching because, truth be told, right, y'all, I don't really watch the major sports shows no more like I used to. Like I used to be, a first take type of boy. I watch Undisputed. I'm, watching this joint and that joint. At this point, I ain't gonna lie. I don't really watch a lot of them no more. I might catch a clip here or there if it pop up on YouTube, but more
Right.
likely on YouTube, I'm watching the independent creators. You feel me? I'm watching guys like y'all. I'm watching guys like our homies out west, Sports for You podcast. Shout out to them. Um,
Okay.
you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm watching guys like Low, the Legend of Winning. I'm watching guys like, Beat Souls, or, those kind of guys. You know what I mean? Guys that's not paid by industries, that's not tapped into industries. Yeah, they might have their own, deals because they channels is profitable. But you know what I'm saying? It's not like you gotta worry about somebody hand up their back puppeteering them, you know what I'm saying, controlling what they can and can't say and stuff like that. Um,
You know who got out of that lane? The boy Marcellus Wilder.
yeah,
I think he now
Yeah,
like he funds
yeah,
his own,
he's different,
podcast because
and
you
he
can't
sound
say what you
different.
want to say. Yeah, yeah,
He
yup.
sound different now too. That's a fact. That's a good example. That's a great example actually. Because there was a while where I was looking at him kind of side eye, like, damn, really,
Right.
bro?
Yeah, because remember him and the boy Acho had to drink together.
Yep,
Um, and that joint, I actually like that joint. You know what I mean? Because Marcellus Wiley, other than him obviously being a player, is a smart dude too. You know
he
what I
is
mean? So he definitely knew what he was talking about. And but you could tell, like you said, the puppet thing, hand up the back type of thing. You could tell it was lanes he couldn't cross the top, because he couldn't really go in like he wanted to. But I like the lane he in now, man.
for sure, for sure. So I came across one of the joints called Player's Choice, and they was having a conversation about different things, and one of the guys, Ox, had mentioned he had a disdain for stats. So that's what we're going to talk about right quick. We're going to talk about stats, what they mean to sports, and what they mean to sports talk, yo, because it's such a huge part of sports conversations in itself. Like you're not gonna have a 10-minute conversation with sports with somebody. Hey, throw that up again so the folks can see. Yeah, man, throw that up again so the folks can see. Oh no, we ain't gonna slide past that. Yeah, yeah, and he in Philly. We gonna get into that later though. We gonna get into that later though. Uh, but yeah,
Let's
you know
do
what
it.
I'm saying. It you can't have a 10-minute conversation with somebody about sports, without at some point stats being pulled out, right? So
Hmm.
tell me, like, tell me how you feel about stats, with how it affects the impact of it on sports itself,
Hmm.
and how it affects sports talk. Now, you could either give me how you feel about that across sports, or if you have an example of a particular sport where it affects that the most, go ahead and put it on the folks. Pause.
Oh yeah, right. So see, I'm sorry. See, with me with stats, man, I think some stats get pulled, for certain instances, I would say. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes stats you only go to the stats because, you know what I mean, something might trump, you know what I mean, you just pulling up some stats. Like, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't make a case for a guy like you can say, all right, okay, for example, you can say how great you thought Dan Marino was, right? You know what I mean? He was this, he was that, da 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 da, da, right? And if this argument, it might be correct on who was better, but you'll probably have some cats that argue and bring up that Eli Manning's Super Bowls outweighs Dan Marino's stats. You know what I mean? So trying to bring up a stat and that type of thing, people gonna try to trump you with the Bulls. But then when your championships, whatever sport it may be, then that's when stats come into play. You know what I mean? Then it's just like, oh well, they had this and that, they had more this and that. Like for instance, the big debate, obviously that's never going to ever, go to sleep. And that's the LeBron and Jordan debate. And a lot of the debate now for me is I mean I'm just gonna always Jordan's my guy. He's my GOAT, right? So we ain't got to get into particulars with that, but that's just what that is,
Same.
right? But what now is the big thing now? What people are saying is, oh, Bron's the all-time leading scorer. So that stat right there is being used. You know what I mean? I think now, to like try to elevate him onto the pedestal of the GOAT. So stats, man, they are what they are because obviously the person got to do it. You know what I mean? They got to have to perform and do these things in their career. So we can't just overlook that. You know what I mean? You still put that work in. But I just think it's levels and magnitudes, and sometimes when you try to pull that stat card. If I explained that, you know what I mean? If you understand what I'm saying, like
I understand. I think the crowd understands. Like you said, stats ain't mythical, right? Like it actually happened.
right, 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 right,
It
right,
actually happened.
right.
Although I'm hear people questioning what you call it, they questioning Jordan stats right now with the steals thing.
All right, and I'm glad you brought that up. So because apparently, was this supposed to be like what, just one season or something
Yeah,
like that, or is
yeah,
this
for a
supposed to have been
particular
all
season.
through his career?
Nah, it was
Right,
supposed to
for a
be the
particular
season where he got defensive MVP.
where he got defensive. Okay, okay, yeah, because they wanted to try to, I guess, they keep saying that. the picture was painted for
You
Jordan.
feel me?
And, Stern was like the league was, they said the NBA was doing bad in money. Jordan was the face to sell it. So whatever it took, to get this guy to be the man and everybody fall in love with, he has to be that guy. So, whatever, man. Like I said, Mike he still went out there and played. Those championships weren't given to him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, did he do that against Portland? He just did
Like, all right, he
shrug.
didn't get as many steals that season. All right, cool. Was he still affecting things with deflections? Was he still getting cooked by his man? You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw that. There's game tape of that.
Right, right, right,
So even if they
right.
fudged the stats for that one season, he was pretty high on the steals list every season.
Listen, man. All right, so essentially, what he averaged, I forget what the average was. What he averaged, like
They said it was like
over
three
three?
something. Yeah, it was over three that season. They had
Right,
it
and
over three.
they saying some of the game tapes that they went back. It was supposed to have been six
Yeah,
games, right?
yeah. 6 games in
A whopping
particular.
6 games they went, right? Where they said they went back and if they really watched these games and he didn't have as many steals, but
Hmm.
and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it brought the stats, it brought it down to 2.1 steals. Is that still not good per game?
Like, come on.
Like, okay, it went from 3.7 to 2.1. If you're talking about y'all really dissected the game and checked the stats, but okay, it's 2.1. Not. Give me how many
Like, what
people
we
averaging
doing?
2.1 steals?
Right,
Yeah,
right. 2.1 steals leads the league in steals most seasons.
right.
So what are we doing?
Right. We just trying to they trying to find something, a kink in the armor to
There you
put the
go.
ball in the seat, man.
There
We
you
know
go.
that.
We already know how that go. So that being a perfect example, right? Because it explains the duality of stats, where, like you said, stats is important because they happen. You know what I'm saying? Brian being the all-time scoring leader, right? That matters because the narrative about him is that he's not a scorer. Well, you can't say a guy's not a scorer if he's the all-time leading scorer. You know what I'm saying? He has to be somebody that's getting buckets, even if he's a pass-first player.
Right, right,
But
right.
does it mean that because he's the all-time leader in score, he was a better scorer than Mike?
I mean,
I ain't
10
willing to
times
hang my
scoring
hat
champ,
on that.
10 times scoring champ versus a one-time scoring champ. I don't know. I can't say that was he's a better scorer. Like this dude did it 10 times.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's other things that you could look at, right? Because people always like to say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. My favorite thing to say
Hmm.
is numbers lie as much as you want them to. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
You could twist numbers elbow and make them lie the way you want them to lie. You feel me?
Right, right,
So
right,
you put that up there, and then they say, "Oh, well, clearly he's a better scorer." And then, like you said, well, he only led the league in scoring one time.
right,
And then they try to hit you with
right.
the, "Well, he could have done it however many seasons if he wanted to."
If 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 an if was a fifth,
We
right?
all be drunk. Come on. Come on.
I don't want to hear that. I don't ever
You
come
feel
no
me?
calling you with the if factor,
So
if factor.
so
Come
that's
on,
what start happening, and they'll start pulling up percentages, who shot the three better. You know what I'm saying? And then you spin back with, okay, well, guess who was better from the line? LeBron career 75%.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Mike
right.
Cash from the line, high 80s. You know what I'm saying? So again, stats do have its place. But one of the things that he was saying when he said, abolish stats, he was saying that you should do it for the purposes of sports conversations, right? Because if we took those
Mm.
numbers away and you just had to talk about what you see when you watch this game, how different do the sports conversations go? In fact, do me a favor and answer that question specifically. If we was to take the stats away, Tone, how do you think sports conversations will look after that?
You know what's crazy? Before you actually even really asking that question, that's how I view things. I don't go into the numbers like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, all right, this boy was just better. Like better, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, Mike got his ass kicked by, Bird, Thomas, you know what I'm saying, in the East before he climbed that mountain, and started catching rep, right? But Mike was going to beat a Celtics team with who they had on their team and versus who he had on his squad. He wasn't going to beat them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He got beat up on the team because they just wasn't equipped well enough. And then people forget when Scotty first came in the league, he wasn't what he was. He wasn't what he was. Everybody thinking what he thought just Scotty was what he was when he was winning championships. They still was together 4 years before they won their first joint. So he had to, build. Mike didn't have enough. You know what I mean? Like they say that for the ball? Don't they say he didn't have
Right,
enough to do this and
right.
do that, and he couldn't beat this team, couldn't beat the Warriors team because they was just loaded, and all he had was this. Yeah, okay. So can we use that? I'm not saying I want to use that shit, but you know what I mean. Like,
But if
but
it
facts,
applies,
facts is facts, right? Facts is facts. You know what I'm saying? Mike wasn't beating them squad back in the day, and then, all right, when he caught them. And if they was on their way out, or if they already did, they already put their work in, and when Mike climbed the mountain, it was on their way out. Oh, so be it. You know what I mean? Like, because that would have happened, even if Mike had that team back in 85, 86, that would have happened back then too.
facts.
You know what I mean? It would have, like Mike would have, he would have did, they would still did their thing if they had that system, Phil Jackson, all that. It would have worked. You know what I mean? Back then against the Lakers and the Boston's and the Detroit, all that. Even the Sixers. Sixers was tough back then too.
For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. Um, I want to put up a couple of things we got in the chat. So when I asked you that question, one of the answers we got from the chat is it would be all about heart, competitiveness, and chips. I think that's an excellent answer. I think that's an excellent
Yeah,
answer.
well, yeah. If you think about it, what do we say about all the what do we probably say about Jordan and Kobe? Like they
They
had
was
that dogs,
killers. They
like
had
you
the
know what I mean,
dog in them.
killers.
Right,
You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. That's definitely a great, great, dissection of if we took stats out, what would we measure?
right. I also want to address somebody bringing up that Westbrook's triple doubles. Right.
Yo, damn, yeah. Somebody was in my head. Pause, but yeah, for
Somebody brought
sure.
up Westbrook's
I
triple doubles. So I want to speak on that right quick because that's one of my one of the stats that when I'm playing 2K, I go for it. But when I'm talking about
hmm
sports, actual athletes, I don't mention it. I
hmm
don't mention it. I
I
really
don't.
don't. When
Right.
I talk about how great somebody is, like I ain't mentioned triple doubles mattering since Jason Kidd. Like I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right, 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 right. Because you know why? Because I'm not gonna say they got old, but they happen a lot more often now. You know what I'm saying than they did before. And they said the reason being is because the percentages of shots being taken are all perimeter shots.
Mm,
And God, I mean, I'm not saying that it ain't like crazy, crazy snipers out here all crazy. So it's a lot of rebounding. You know what I'm saying? That's out there because everybody jack up shots now.
that
You know
was
what I mean? They let
stat
it fly.
padding.
So.
Stat padding.
So
Yeah, stat padding is a thing.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the game's changed, the era's changed. People get a lot better. You know what I'm saying? We see the
Absolutely.
athletes are just freaking natures now. Like, you know what I mean? You got offensive linemen running 4.5s. They're like, what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know everything evolves, man. And, the game gets a little, I'm not going to say easier, but it's just like a lot of people get triple doubles now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's still not a hard thing to do, but a lot of people flirt with it, man.
But now too is it's easier to manufacture them, right? Like how
hmm
Ty said it was stat padding. So I remember I was sitting there saying James Harden deserved MVP, and people was throwing up the triple doubles, and what I said to everybody was, so if he was averaging 30, 8, and 7, would you say that he deserves this MVP? And nobody came back to said yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
then
And
if
he
the
was averaging
only
high 30.
So that right, if he was averaging 35, 38, 7, and 8, would you think he deserved MVP with OKC's record at the time? And nobody would have said yeah.
hmm
Everybody was talking about how great the triple double was, how effortless he's making it look. He's a point guard. You ain't seen the triple double being averaged since Oscar Robertson, so forth
Right,
and so
right,
on.
right.
And I'm like, yeah, but especially the rebounding part, right? Like I love guards who can rebound out of their area, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to also be the complete guard on the other end too. Like if you a point guard averaging 10 rebounds, but when we go ahead and we look at the stats and we see a number like shots contested, and we see that you're a point guard, but your shots contested is low, and we're not talking about blocks. Shots contested for those.
That's a hand up. Right.
Exactly. I'm about to say, for those not in the know, is just a hand
Right.
up. That's it. You be in there close
Right.
enough to just put a
Yeah.
hand up. That is it.
You could test it. That's what contesting is. Right.
It is, y'all. That's it. Not a good contest, not a bad contest. A contest.
Right.
Yep. OKC
Right.
was a fifth seed. And you don't get MVPs usually for anything lower than a third seed. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying?
Nope.
Jerry West at the sixth seed was the lowest seed before Westbrook got it. But yeah, like even with that, you could go back and you could watch. She said he was catching his own rebound. Hey, we gotta leave that argument alone because they
Yo,
killing Angel Reese with that right
yo,
now.
remember when Ricky Davis did that?
Yes,
When he
he
tried
trying
to
to
get
get
it,
that triple
tried to get
double
a triple
off the rim.
double.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Deshaun Stevenson for fouling because I would have did the same. Uh,
Yeah. Right.
you're not gonna play in our face. You already won the game. Don't play
Yeah.
in our
Right.
face.
Right. He trying to get the triple double now. He just
Draymond tried it too.
did he? Did he?
He
I must have
did,
missed
he
that one.
did, but he actually apologized the night after for trying to force it. But yeah, so what would happen is Steven Adams would box out. And you know how big he is and how hard it is to get around
And he
him.
would just let
Just let them Jones
Westbrook
fall. You would literally see this dude, this
his hands
7 footer,
up.
200
Right.
something pounds, have his hands like this. Who
Right.
rebounds without a hand up?
Right.
Who boxes
Right.
out just like with their arms? I'm a basketball coach. I would bench a kid who box out just using
Bust
his
out with just
arms.
his arm. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If he not got one hand up here and they got a seal, what are you doing, bro? How you gonna
Right.
actually get
Right.
the ball?
He just letting, like you said, letting Westbrook scoop that drink right on up.
And the trickery of it too is if you don't secure the ball, it's not a rebound. So what else Steven Adams would do is
Oh, with tap it on,
yep,
tap it on.
and then just start heading down court. So you know what I'm saying? So again,
Right.
this is times where stats start to look a little suspect. So we can't go on stats alone, right?
Oh no.
This is
Nope.
why somebody like the boy, like I said, the boy Ox was like, take it out the conversation and see what kind of real
hmm
conversation we had.
Hey, you know what? That's great, man. That's great because I think I'm gonna bring that up on my gen because people ain't gonna want. That's gonna be an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people.
It is. It
You know what I'm
is.
saying? If you give from the merit that you said that one person gave those three things, oh man, that's gonna be uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
They ain't gonna want to tell the truth then.
Right. Because think about the guys that without the stats to, secure what it is they did, how different some guys look. Like when you talk about
Right.
football, when you talk about receivers in football, you won't want to talk about 1,000 yard catch seasons. You know what I'm saying? Thousand yard
hmm
seasons, 100 yard catch seasons. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want. So I gotta disagree with the boy because at a certain point you do kind of need to nitpick with stats sometimes, right?
Right.
Because certain
Yeah, it's
stats
like a
matter to a player. Like rushing yards does matter to a certain degree if we want to talk about who was the better running back. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Maybe the multiple things
Right.
he could
Right.
do, like that he was a rusher that could also catch.
Right.
That
Right.
matters, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, this dude
Right.
straight ran. He
He's a
wasn't he
dual threat.
he didn't have hands like that, but he was getting up and down the field, so he has more yards, rushing than this guy. This guy got
hmm
rushing and receiving yards.
All over the
You
place.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? So who at that point are you going to start to look at as the better running back?
hmm hmm Yeah,
Also,
like that.
go ahead.
That'll be a case for the bull Camaro.
Mm, talk
That would
about
be
it.
a
Talk
case,
about it. Give it.
for something like him, because
Break it down for the people.
he can obviously run the rock. You know what I'm saying? He get through holes, he quick. You know what I mean? But one thing he got is some hands, and they definitely use him for that. I did. Well, hold on, wait. Was one season he led them in receiving, like receiving
Damn
like
near.
catches? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Boyd's a dual threat. You know what I mean? He's a dual threat, and that's what you like in a running back. And like you said, if they got those both two facets in their game, a downhill runner, yeah, like you said, you're gonna have more yards rushing the rock, but all around, that dual threat, he might be that guy.
Mm-hmm. The quarterback would love that, right? Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
makes his job a lot easier. Um, so the other thing I want to say about the stats thing before we move on is I want to give the other side of the coin as to why we can't take stats out of sports and just keep it a team stat. Because that was his suggestion. Only look at team stats. Look at what the team did for the night when you want to look at stats. And we just worry about what we saw. So we might not know off the top of our head that Jason Tatum had 50 that night, but you know what it looked like when a nigga killed him. The flip side of that is we see that Jason, I'm going to use Devin Booker as a better example. We see Devin Booker
Okay.
had a 50 ball, right? Now, again, we don't have to look at the numbers, but we was watching him cook.
Cook. Mm-hmm.
But it took him 40 shots.
Mm.
Without the stats to let us know exactly how many shots he took to get that 50, we just know we saw the
Mm.
ball go in a whole lot that
A
night.
whole lot of times. Right. Right. Right.
Some of them
Right.
shots is
Right.
going to be
We
tough
yeah.
shots. Some of them shots is
Mhm.
going to be like, oh my God, only a Devin Booker could make that type of shot.
Correct.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's going to look way more beautiful when we're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But without those numbers to frame it, like how hard, how hard it was for him to get that, or maybe how inefficient he was. Because sometimes it's going to take you a lot of shots to get a lot of points. That defense is just keyed in on
Mm-hmm.
you. You can't do
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm. Making you shoot tough shots. You
Right.
know what I mean? Yeah.
But you the
Yeah.
only chance your team got to win in this game. So you still got to put them up.
Right. So you want right. So you gonna do what you got. A la AI, Allen Iverson.
I knew he was going to enter the chat
So
once I brought that example
yeah.
up.
Man, AI had to do what he had to do, man. He had to throw a 50 of them Jones. Hey, listen, man. Little boy was gonna will us, man. He was gonna will us to a victory somehow, some way.
Right. And listen, after tonight, go back. You in the game from GNT. Go back and check out our episode on Allen Iverson top 5 dead or alive for shooting guards. And then get back with me and let me know how y'all felt about it, all right?
Okay. All right. Solid.
Because we
Solid.
definitely
Solid.
we
Yep.
definitely got into that and some things, some favorable commentary, some unfavorable commentary. But you know what I mean? That's
Hmm.
one of the things that came up.
Yo, send me the link and I'm gonna send it to the guys
For
and we gonna
sure.
dissect that joint.
For sure.
We
Please
gonna do
do.
that.
Please do.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So as I was saying, without the stats to frame certain things, it looked different, right? Because you caught up in the
yeah.
moment.
Hmm.
Like, damn, Devin is just a superhero out there. But it's not accounting for shots that maybe ain't in his wheelhouse. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It's not
right.
accounting for times he shot too early in the shot clock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So certain stats definitely do matter. And also from a business standpoint, because stats is how some of these guys get paid, if we being honest.
Hmm.
Stats is
Oh
the
yeah, well,
difference
for sure.
between max level players, between, somebody getting a franchise tag and in football, you know what I'm saying? It's the difference between that contract.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you took stats out and and management had to judge by just who they think players
Nope.
are, bro, imagine no stats being involved, you being Boston GM, you being Boston owner, and you got to figure out who's gonna get this contract between JB and JT.
And Jacobs. Mm.
Who would you get a bag in that
Yeah.
situation? I gotta put you on the spot. Who would you get a bag?
Well, I'm gonna be biased in this situation, man. You know, you can use those two because I'm a Duke guy, man. I'm a Duke
Okay.
Blue Devil, so I gotta go with Tatum. Um, I think Tatum has has a better, let's just say a better offensive type of thing that he could probably bring, in his career to the game. JB got the brains. He a smart dude. And then Tatum ain't really got the heart like that, man. You know what I mean? Like he should really be a killer, man. I think. You know what I mean? But I would get it back to Tatum, like I said, because I just think I like his offensive, ceiling higher than JB.
For sure, for sure. I agree. He has the better offensive ceiling. JB is the better defender, more physical.
Right, right.
But you
But
know,
see, but then that probably makes him better then because what I mean he can go on offensive end too. He can get a bucket.
he can.
So
But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Who do you think is more reliable? Like that's the kind of stuff you would have to figure in if you didn't have no numbers. You had to guess like, dang, who really we gonna throw the ball to at the end of the game and say, go get us this bucket?
you go
And like you said,
right, yeah,
offensive
yeah.
ceiling wise, you would think JT.
You go to is that guy. Right,
But we just
right.
watched the finals, and aside from the last
But
game, it didn't always look
their
that
numbers
way.
was it didn't it was because of how Tatum got it. I think he had 2 30 pointers, so that raised obviously his points per game, you know what I mean? But it was a couple times where he was lost for a while in the game. Like, just wasn't effective. And then he got it popping. He had his streak of, a couple buckets. So he was ineffective at times. I think, that's why, JB got it.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is about him. Why he be having slow first half starts in
Yeah,
games, man.
yeah. Like I think he let it got to be in his mind. He let it, cause that's the thing on him, right? That's the the stigma on him. He has slow starts. You know what I mean? Is he built for it? Would they ever win
Right.
a championship? So I think that weighed on him a little bit, and he lets it get to him. It's a mind thing, man. Get it out your brain. Go out there and hoop, man. Just do you.
That's a good.
Just do you,
That's a
man.
that's a great point. You can't hoop without your brain. So if you in your own
Right,
head, it definitely affects him. Because even when we look back
right,
with the series against the Sixers, he had those really bad first halves that cost them the game. To be honest, um,
right, right.
even the both the 40 balls that
That
James
hard.
Harden had,
Hmm.
Tatum was
He stunk
stinking
it.
it
Yeah,
up in
he
the
stunk.
first half
Right.
in both of
Yeah.
those games.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. If he's cooking all game, or at least has a decent first half, then that 40 ball is going to go to waste because Boston would have won both those games. They would have swept.
Right. Right. Well, then, right. Yeah. Yeah. How about that?
They would have swept. But then in the game clinching game, he goes nuclear.
Oh, right. 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 He is everything. It was throwing a rock in the ocean. He
You know what
did
I'm
everything.
saying? He was kicking ass in that last game, and then Harden and Embiid ain't have nothing for him. So it made it look
Nah.
that much worse. It made his
Nah.
star look that much greater.
Look that better. Right. Right. Oh, he's a star. He's a game.
Game
Yeah.
seven,
Yeah. Now
champions
Steve
are
Boss just
game
played. They played the
seven.
worst. Yeah. Right. Yeah. He dropped a 50. Did he drop a 50 ball on us?
Yeah.
Right. A 50 ball. Right. Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. He
it
let
was
that ball go
50 piece.
bananas.
50 piece with the
Ah,
nuggets. You know what I'm saying? With the
ah,
dip, everything.
right. He gave us sweet and sour
You hear
sauce.
me?
Oh, damn,
He was all
damn.
over it. But let's move on to some things because we both sports fans here. And we saw that tower earlier.
Yeah, it's still here.
You know what
It's
I'm
on the way.
saying? So let's get into that because I always have to be accountable for my Cowboys fandom. You know what I mean? Whenever I'm on a sports
Hmm.
podcast or if I got my gear and I'm somewhere, I always gotta be
Right,
accountable for it. So,
right,
first question
right.
I want to ask is, how did you living in Philly become a Cowboys fan?
Well, just watching football. All right. So you know what? I'll say this like on some real stuff. I'm probably, obviously, definitely not an Eagles fan because my dad wasn't.
Okay.
And I will say that obviously, clearly, man. I don't know if you're a father, man, or if you have a son. And if you have them around sports, you're going to try to gravitate your son to the team that you like, no matter what sport it is, right?
Absolutely.
Because you're watching the games, you're in front of the TV, you're grooming your son to be a sports fanatic like yourself. So how you going to tell him? Well, I mean, I'm not saying you telling him to root for that team,
Right.
but if your son is a dad's son, he gonna rock with who you rocking with. But the crazy thing about it is, my dad wasn't an Eagles fan; he's a 49ers fan.
Mm.
And I didn't gravitate to them, but I used to love the battles that the Niners and boys had back in the day. And you know what I'm saying? Not that I wanted animosity with my pop or whatever this and that, but I wanted them to lose. I'm like, so I started cheering for the Cowboys. And And of course, yes, they came on every, Sunday or whatever when they played, the Pigeons. And, I'm like, I don't like them dudes. I never liked them. And boom, that's my squad. I rock with them. You know what I'm saying? And, and I'm 42. I ain't one of them bulls that I'm 25 and I ain't seen nothing. And,
Right.
you that, you this and that. You just there because of the, you know what I mean? Nah, man. I've been through the ring. It's 28 years and counting. I'm still here. I ain't going to win. You know what I mean? That's my squad.
I feel it. EBC4L, you feel me? I'm a
Yeah.
Texas native myself, so you know what I mean, we grew up with the
Okay. Okay.
Oilers. I grew up with the Oilers and the Cowboys, and then once the Oilers was out the picture, it was just Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? And it was that way. Now,
hmm
granted, we did
hmm
get the Texans eventually, but I was already like entrenched
Already, he was
into the
already locked in.
Cowboys. So
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's the way it's been, and that's the way it's gonna go. I still wish
Right. Right.
prosperity for the Texans, but you know what I mean. If you ask me who I'm a fan of, I'm gonna say
hmm
Cowboys. Um,
All right. Let me ask you this though. Let
mhm.
me ask you this: if the Texans win the Super Bowl, are you going to the parade,
If I'm in
or would you
Houston,
want to go to the right? Oh, all right. Like not nothing that you would plan out and do, but you would.
if
You
I
would.
go, it wouldn't be as a fan, so to speak. It would be more like as a Texan, as a Houstonian. You know what I'm saying? To go celebrate with my family, I go do whatever they doing, whatever party they having. But no, I'm not gonna go
Right.
to parade and have Texans gear on and all that kind of stuff, knowing I wasn't, you know what I mean, riding uh for the entire season, knowing I wasn't rocking like that.
Right.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. All right. So in 2019. I've been to, the Cowboy Stadium, man, I mean, plenty of times. I live in that joint, right?
Okay.
So 2019, in 2019, I'm down there for a game. And before, like, I used to go down there for the weekend too. So it wasn't just going for the game. So I was there for the weekend. So I go to, Six Flags out that joint, Great Adventures out that joint, right?
Okay.
And just small talking in line. I mean, I was with my ex. I mean, at the time, I mean, we out there, we in line. At a ride on a ride, and we talking sports. Oh no, actually, yeah, we talking sports. But then there was a couple in front of us. Make a long story short, dude jumped into our conversation. We rapping. Finds out I'm a Cowboys fan. We going to the game, like that weekend. We exchange numbers. Obviously, that's my man, to the day. But he's from Houston, Texas,
Okay.
right? And he's a Cowboys fan. And he currently resides in Houston. And he says he gets so much hate from the Texans fans. He said worse than even anybody who's fans of like the Giants, the Commanders, or the Eagles. He's like he gets no hit, no, not the near amount of hate he gets from the Texans. You know what I mean? And then, we played them this year and, they all coming at him. And then, they're trying to say CJ Stroud better than Dak and all this
Mhm.
old goofy stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So he was just saying like how he hates them more than he hates the teams in our division. And he was like, we don't even play them dudes once every 4 years.
Right.
Like, so he said, this is crazy down there
It is
as
though.
far as how Texans fans act towards Cowboys fans. And to your point, like you just said, and he was like, y'all were Oilers fans. And then y'all were Cowboys fans once Houston, went to Tennessee. He's like, and then now you hate the Cowboys and you love the. He's like, it don't make sense. You know what I mean? So, he was just like he hate them for that reason alone. It's funny that I'm glad that you said that's where you from and you broke it down like that. And so now I can go back to him and just say like, yo, this is crazy. But you don't hate, you know what I mean,
Nah.
anybody on either side. It's just like it's crazy, yo.
But you know what it is? It's little brother syndrome. You feel me? It's the
Right,
little
and that's
brother
what he say
syndrome.
too.
That's
That's what
that's
he
that's
say
what it
too. Right,
is. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like now they got their team back, and the thing that's stopping them from being great is Big Brother. Like no, it's not.
right, right, right.
No, it's not. Y'all
Y'all
continue
can go do your own thing.
greatness.
Y'all in a different conference.
You feel
Y'all
me?
in a different conference. Y'all ain't got to go through us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
I mean, if we there, but I mean, we ain't been there in
Right.
a minute. But if it was us there, you know what I'm saying? You got to go through us.
Y'all
But
wouldn't see us until the
you,
bowl. You know what I'm saying?
right,
That would be the
right,
Texas
right.
Bowl. I would love that. I ain't gonna lie. I would love that.
Oh
I'd have to
man,
stop everything
I
I was
know.
doing to go there for that. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm sure that would be crazy.
That would be so fire. I mean, I'm calling up mad relatives. We finna make this a whole
Right,
weekend, a whole week damn near if I
right.
can. I ain't gonna hold you. I would love that.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be crazy.
what else we got? Okay, so how does it feel, man, being a Cowboys fan in Philly? How does that feel for you?
I mean. it don't really feel like anything I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? It's just that obviously being a Cowboys fan, living in Philly. You know what I'm saying? I'm in many arguments, debates, you know what I'm saying, conversations, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Thank God nothing ever really got physical, you know what I'm saying, like that. But, it gets emotional, you know what I'm saying? But man, listen, man, I'm 6'2", 260, man. I'm ready for any smoke, man. So we can talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But so I'm up for any kind of conversation, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Look, like, man, if you stand for something, man, you don't run away when somebody talking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just squad, man. Like, and this is any sport, man. You know what I'm saying? In the Sixers myself, I rep. You know what I mean? Like, that's my team. I don't care where I live at, where I'm from. If that's what I love and I like, man, I'm gonna do that. You gonna know that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I argue with the best of
Facts. Too, I love it honestly. I love the rivalry. Um,
them.
love the passion in the sport, you know what I'm saying, in that particular rivalry. And then the bid be hilarious, man. Like the jokes back and forth be
hmm
hilarious. It's fun, man.
hmm
Like you gotta have a good you gotta have a good, you gotta have a thick skin and you gotta have a good nature about it. Otherwise you're gonna be miserable. But
Yeah,
I love picking with the
yeah.
Pigeons fans. Um,
hmm
they pick with me, of course, when we not, doing what we supposed to do in our season. But I could, I take it in stride. I even made this clip when we had lost, when our season was over. I forget which year it was, but I had made this clip teasing Eagles fans for using the same stale jokes. So
Right, right.
I had made it like it was one of those donate 5 cents a day commercials to
Okay.
where to where I'm like, if you donate 5 cents a day, we could get them some good jokes to use now. So you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Call 1-800 and donate to your nearest corny Eagles fan. So if they go a
right.
bid, they can at least do it properly. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
So
right, right,
you know what I mean?
right. They use the same stuff,
Yeah, because I take the losses with the wins. I heard you say that the other day.
right?
You know what I mean? You gotta take the
Mm-hmm.
good with the bad when you go and have fandom. So I'm gonna talk when
Right.
we winning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk when we
And I'm
losing.
sorry we good. Yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
go
man.
nowhere.
That's not a fan. You're a scapegoat. Like you just gonna rock with your squad when they winning. Like, yeah, all right, that's easy to do. You know what I mean? Like, like, no, man, if you're a fan, you got to be, hey, man, it's gonna be some tough seasons. You ain't gonna be good every year.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So hey,
Shoot, I
you
talked
got to live
crazy
with
during
that.
them 8 and 8 seasons too. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't
Yeah,
let up.
yeah, yeah. I don't care.
I ain't taking my
And I'm
foot off the
still
gas.
talking heavy. Yeah, I'm still talking heavy. We'll be playing against y'all. I don't care what we did. I hate y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, I don't care how bad we are. I say it's a God out there. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. I like that. Like things, you know what I mean? Things can happen. So you know what I mean? Let's go.
I like that. Tess, there's a God out there. You never know.
Hey, man, what the fuck? No, man. I ain't count nobody out. You know?
I like that shit. So, um, so what's your favorite sports memory, bro? It could be whether it was you as an athlete or you as a sports fan.
Hmm, that's heavy, damn, man. Because I've been to. This is wild because it's going to be the best because this was the probably the biggest game I've ever been to. I was at game 4 of the World Series when Phillies lost to Houston,
Okay.
and the game that I was at was the game where we got no hit.
Mm.
So mind you, it was like it's like bittersweet because I'm at the World Series. You know what I'm saying? Game 4 in Philly, my hometown. And we hyped. Oh man, it was the best experience I had just leading up to a game, walking to the game, the fans. Oh man, it was great. It was great, right? But then to witness like a no hitter, that's something in itself. You know what I mean? Just being at a baseball game, but to be on the other end of it, I was so hurt. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I see in history. So even though, like we just mentioned, man, you gotta take the good with the bad, man. Being at a World Series game to me was my highest hype, man. Granted, the outcome, I love the experience, man, and the time I had there, it was great.
That's a dope perspective. I love that. I love that. Give us your worst one right quick. Give us your worst one.
First, oh, I'm gonna say it because I seen it in person, man. I was at the game last season. in Philly when they flipped that, you know what I mean, on his
Hmm.
head. They was using the means 4th and 1. He was the yard marker and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was at that game, man. It was so and we were so much, we was so into that game.
Yeah.
Um, and I wore, and the crazy thing, I wore my dad's jersey, to the game,
Mm.
and walking into the game. Like I said, man, I'm here for all the banter, man, everything. I want all the smoke. I don't care,
Right.
you know what I mean. And of course, they was throwing shots and everything, you know what I mean. But it was all in all great experience. But I obviously hated the outcome,
For sure.
and because it was here in this city, and I seen everybody going crazy, they running past, laughing at me. Like that wasn't cool. So that was the worst. That was the worst. That was the worst experience, man.
I feel that. And right quick, here's the last one. If you could play professionally, what sport would you play? What position would you play in that sport, and why?
If I had to choose, I'm going to choose basketball because that's the sport I played growing up. You
Okay.
know what I mean? So I know I would do well in that if I was to be playing professionally. Um, Position, I would want to be shooting guard or small forward. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Because I don't want to have the ball because I'm going to be shooting that bitch. You know what I mean? So I'm bringing somebody passing to me before, they say, dang, someone ain't passing. So, um, and the reason I would, are you saying the reason why I want to play that position or the reason I want to
Both.
choose that sport?
Both.
Well,
You
like I
told me
said,
why you
to the
wanted to play
honest,
the sport, right?
right, because just grew up loving it and playing it. That's first sport of choice, and like I said, just so I wouldn't because I think in instances if you're not a scoring point guard, the two guard or the three guard is normally the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna get you that bucket. Unless you got obviously a decent big man, but they rare nowadays.
For sure.
But yeah, man, that would be my reason, or that would be the sport.
For sure. For sure. All right. So now we about to wrap things up. Let's get back into what you got going on with GNT, man. Talk to us. Let us know what we should look for. I know you got an event coming up. Tell us about that. And
Hmm.
anything else, man, that you want my folks to know.
All right, so just like you mentioned, man, GNT Sports Talk. Like I said earlier, at the start of this show, we're on every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Um, joining with the guys, man. When we first started this, man, we didn't have a vision. We didn't say where we were trying to go. We just linked up and said, hey, let's talk some sports in front of a camera. Just throughout our journey, man, we started just collectively coming together with ideas, topics, obviously, clearly, things to talk about. So it expanded like our vision. And man, we've been just doing things, man, collaborating with a lot of people, man, reaching out to people, just trying to be a sports podcast that's kind of different, man. We pulling up to events, man. We're not actually just talking about what the sport we watch. We pulling up the games. Pulling up. We actually had our first sponsor, man. We sponsored a boxer, man. His name Juan Marrero. You know what I mean? We had our logo stitched on his trunks, man. He's a professional fighter from Philly, man, 5-0. We was down at the fight, man. You know what I mean? Seeing that thing in person. Um, so like coming into this podcast, this is all I really thought I was going to be doing, just talking on the camera. You know what I mean? Sports, making valid points. Debating with people, man. But to be, birthed to, what I mean, the sponsorships, man, linking with people, man, meeting, gentlemen like yourself, man. And, it's a beautiful thing. So that's what we trying to do, man. Like I said, we just try to do different things, pulling up, man, sponsoring people, man. You know what I mean? And just providing great sports talk, for the people, man, because that's what we love to do. So we just filmed our 50th episode, you know what I mean? 50 weeks straight too. You know what I mean? Like we when we first started, we was even thinking like, damn, because we started it like when football, right before preseason.
Okay.
So we knew football was gonna be around obviously till February. So we like, damn, what we gonna talk about once that's done? You know what I mean? Because you got that air, that space when baseball is just it, once basketball is done but we've been 50 weeks strong, man.
It's tough.
Never missed a show. Not saying that we all was there all 50 weeks, but that show filmed every Wednesday, 8 o'clock for 50 straight weeks. So shout out to my guys, man, Larry and Joel, man, who makes up the panel at GNT Sports, man. So like I said, bigger and better things, man. We hosted the draft NFL draft party at Buffalo Wild Wings. You know what I mean? We
That's
did
the
that. You know what I mean? And we had a couple live events, you know what I mean, where we met up and that's what we actually may do for our 1 year anniversary, man. Have like a little panel of like 6 to 10 people, man, come down to a studio be like a little live audience for us, man. And obviously tapping in with IG Live, YouTube, and all that, man. So just to tap in, man, follow us, man. Like I said, we kind of plan as we go. You know what I'm saying? When we come up with the ideas, we throw them out there, man, to the people. Let y'all know what we got going on, man. But we're growing sports podcast, man. That's trying to do big things. So follow GNT Sports Talk, y'all. And the event that you're talking about, I am also the promoter of a comedy and poetry show. You know what I mean? That's every third Friday of the month. It's called Laugh the Pain Away. You can follow that page at Laugh the Pain Away Show. Like I said, every third Friday of the month, we open the doors at 8 p.m. Showtime by 8:30. We got three dope poets, three dope comedians. We got free wine down there. It's in the Manny Young section, of Philadelphia, or no Manny Young section. You know what I mean? Like, so you ain't got to worry about, what I'm saying, no papa and all that, man. It's a great thing, man. That my man comedian Ken Jones and poet cousin Gary, man, they got this going on. I've been down with them for about a year. You know what I mean? We even got a show out Houston now.
That's
You know
tough.
what I mean? Laugh the Pain away out Houston, man. So we expanding. My man Ken, he does work Orlando. He does work everywhere. You know what I mean? He does comedy and he does poetry. So he calls himself a comedian. You know what I mean? Follow him, man. Ken Jones, man. At Ken Jones videos, man. Funny dude, talented brother. You know what I mean? From Philly.
I've
So
definitely
like I
seen
said,
some
I
of the
got
stuff
that going
before.
on. Yeah. Follow me on my promoter page where you see all that going on and everything that we do is at tone underscore the underscore promoter underscore where the link is in the bio for the tickets. Like I said, our next show is next Friday, July 19th. Tickets are still on sale. Y'all can go grab them. And you know what? I'm actually giving away 2 free tickets too. So y'all follow me
Dang.
on Tone the Promoter, man. Follow me on Tone the Promoter for the chance to win the tickets. I mean, it's just something simple, man. You know what I mean? Like follow me, liking the page and subscribing. Then I'll do a drawing and you know what I mean? You get 2 free tickets, man. Bring your lady, bring your man, bring your partner, whatever it is you got going on. Come out, have a good time, man. Like I said, every third Friday of every month.
Y'all already heard. So, you know what I'm saying? I'll make sure, to get some of the flies from him whenever he posts it. I'll make sure to put that in there, you know what I'm saying? Support, the people who we rocking with. So y'all could go ahead and have yourself a
Sir.
good time with Tone. I'm gonna have to pull
Yes,
up to one of
sir.
them joints too. I'm gonna have to start
Oh,
clearing out
yeah.
a schedule on the third Friday and pull up.
And you know what? And I'll put this gym out there too. The first week, and the tickets usually go on sale the first week after our initial show, right? Whenever we
Okay.
have a show. And the first week tickets are only $10. $10.
Y'all can't beat that.
So early bird special the first week, $10. You know what I mean? Then they grow $5 every week until the show.
That's tough. Y'all can't beat that, yo. Y'all can't beat
No,
that.
can't beat
ten
that with a
dollars for a
bet, man. So come
comedy and
holler at me, man.
poetry show? Come
Yeah,
on.
you getting best of both worlds down there, man. They might, what I mean, they gonna throw that. They could throw the erotic comedy, erotic poetry, or they could go into the deep, that heart, soul touching, what I mean, poetry. Then they bring you back with the laughs with the comedians, man. Like I said, it's a good thing we got going on down there. Tap, man. Come out, support. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee.
For sure, man. And listen, as I said before, I'm gonna bring it right back. Tone is one of my fellow panelists on the podcast link live show. Okay, that is
Can't
August
wait.
4th. The doors open at 2:30. It's gonna be at 2245 Manton Street out in South Philly. You know what I'm saying? The tickets is 20. Follow Tone because you're supposed to follow Tone. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But he
right.
gonna have the Eventbrite link. He'll have physical tickets.
hmm
If you want to pull up
Yup.
on him, work it out with him. Y'all get y'all tickets. Same with me. I keep them on me like it's you know what I mean.
Right,
I keep it
right.
with
Yeah, don't
me.
never leave home without it.
Pull up on me and I got them for you. We can meet whatever y'all need done. I even do deliveries. I'll drop it off. You hand me the money. We do the exchange. Um,
Boom.
However y'all want to do it. But of course, we got the Eventbrite link on most of the things that we post in. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So go ahead, get your tickets there for you and whoever you bring in. Now, for our out of town folks who can't get the physical tickets, definitely hit that Eventbrite link and pull up to the event, man. We got folks like Tone, we got folks like myself. We gonna have food there. If you want to be a vendor, it's $50 to vend. Hit either one of us up and we'll
So,
put you down with the get down. You feel me? Um,
hmm
the sponsor of this podcast, Keish with the Cake, aka simply the owner, simply the Shea Catering, will be there with her
hmm
sweet treats in the building. You know what I'm saying? So get
Yes.
y'all parts of that. You feel me? We cannot wait to see y'all in August. This is going
Yeah, for sure.
to be lit. You hear me? Ain't never been to one of these
Man,
before. I know you might have been to podcast lives before, but you ain't never been to
never been
one
to
of
this.
these. You feel me? And we gonna make
Mm-hmm.
sure it's special for y'all because we gonna have crowd engagement and stuff like that. So people who like to be vocal and talk, y'all gonna get y'all shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get your chance. You
Y'all
get your
gonna
chance.
get y'all
Yep.
shot. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But everybody knows what they doing on this panel, man. So this is gonna be a special event. I literally can't wait. I'm buzzing. You hear me? I am buzzing for this thing because it's gonna be fire. I
Yes,
know it's
sir.
gonna be a movie. Um,
Yes, sir.
Once again, Tone, I appreciate you tapping in with us, bro. I appreciate what y'all doing over there in GNT. The fact that, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
y'all more than just talk, y'all actually investing in Philly sports, man. That's thorough as
Yeah.
hell. To be able to
Yeah.
sponsor a boxer, dog, who
Yeah.
come on, man. Everybody not doing
Yeah.
that, dog.
Right,
You
right. That's
feel
what I'm
me?
saying, man. Like I said, man, our guys, we come together, man. We just think and brainstorm and like, yo, let's do this, let's do that. You know what I mean? Like just trying to be in the lane, man. Like I said, we ain't trying to take over or nothing like
Right.
that. We just trying to be in the lane. Just trying to be in the lane to be noticed. Like, yo, them dudes is doing something different, man. So
For
just tap
sure,
in,
for
man.
sure, for sure. We see y'all and we hope everybody else see y'all too. On behalf of A.C.E, our brother, that's who we always be. On behalf of Keish, the owner of Simply in the Shake Hater and the sponsor of the Life Be Life and podcast. On behalf of my amazing co-host, Mimi the Goddess, on behalf of Tone, and on behalf of your favorite coaches, I always say, be smart, be respectful, be patient, and that means with yourself as well. Be kind to as many people as you possibly can. I know some people make that difficult and damn near impossible. Fuck them people. It's all right. But every single day, y'all, every single day, make sure you take the time to be kind to yourselves. You deserve nothing less. I don't care what you've been through, what you did, what then happened to you. Make sure every single day to take the time out to be kind to yourselves. All right. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
appreciate everybody who was in the comments. You know what I mean? Taya, Katie, Joelle, everybody who was in the chat. We appreciate all y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see y'all at the live show. I'm claiming it. Yeah, everybody who's at
Oh
the
yeah.
chat,
Oh yeah.
I expect to see
Yeah.
y'all
We
at the
gonna see
live
y'all
show. All right. We love y'all.
for
We
sure.
appreciate y'all. We up out of here though.
Yes, sir.